This is Texans TV.
The offense should look different in 2022, but how? Plus, the defense gets an upgrade. We're talking ball with the voice of the Houston Texans. It's all next on Texans 360.
We are ready to rock in Houston.
Rock and roll.
You already know what time it is, man.
Touchdown, Texans!
I got cleats for all y'all.
He's in rock and roll.
That's when you think you've seen it all. There's always something else.
Let's go home,
It is a wonderful week to be with you. Thanks so much for checking us out here on Texans 360. My name's Drew Dougherty. I'm your host. And with me is the voice of the Houston Texans, Marc Vandermeer. We got a lot to discuss. You doing okay?
It's about time you had me back, Drew.
Oh, stop. You've been in frequently enough. But listen, we have a new cheerleading squad, which is fantastic news.
Yes.
We also have a very memorable Memorial Day celebration, but we start off with a little bit of news of the week here in Houston Texans land. OTAs in their second week of work for the Houston Texans, and they got quite a bit accomplished. We were out there on Wednesday afternoon, which coincidentally was a big day for the organization. The Texans players, in light of the tragedy and the massacre that happened in Uvalde a week ago, they decided they wanted to do something. They wanted to get involved, and together, the players and coaches came up with a solution, or not a solution, but a way to do it. They wanted to raise money, so they all put some money in, $200,000 just them alone. The organization, team chairman, CEO Cal McNair, they decided to match, so $400,000 going to the Robb School Memorial Fund, Mark.
That is so special, really. I was talking with Brevin Jordan this week. Just to get the players together alone was something, right? And a lot of guys are new on Texans campus, but they all felt it was very important. Texans head athletic trainer Roland Ramirez is an alum of the school, and he's from Uvalde, and that was among the things that made them rally together for this. Then the McNairs got a hold of it and said, hey, we want to help, and over $400,000 donated to the Robb Elementary Memorial Fund. That is special. It's just one of the things that's needed in the wake of this tragedy.
Another guy who was spearheading and helping spearhead that effort was Terence Brooks, one of the safeties for the Texans defense. Our very own DP Sidhu went one-on-one with him here in the Deep Slant.
It's the Deep Slant 101 presented by Xfinity. Joining me today, defensive back Terence Brooks. Terence, we walked out for OTAs. The team, the players, the staff, they're all wearing orange. A really cool unifying moment, and you guys are doing it for the victims of Uvalde. Tell us a little bit about the team and how y'all are spearheading that effort.
We're really just trying to do anything we can. We know, just throwing money or doing things like that doesn't take away the pain of those losses, but for the most part, we just wanted to show our support for them because a lot of these guys out here, we have kids, and we never want to see that happen, especially when that's a safe place that you think you're taking your kid to. So it definitely hit home with a lot of us, and we just wanted to show our efforts in some type of way.
I heard that you and Christian Kirksey were really the two that led the efforts with your teammates. How did you guys come up with the idea? How did you approach the players about it?
Really right away when we heard the news, we were like, what can we do? Whether that's trying to attack mental illness or just trying to help out these families in any way they can. We just wanted to figure out something. And, through going through the great resources of the Texans, we were able to get some stuff together and work with some great people just to see what we can do. And just the efforts that we've been able to get together for them, it's been awesome. So I hope we can do so much more and actually, show our presence at some point too. So that'll be awesome.
All right, so between you and the players, you guys raised $200,000 of your own money, and the McNairs came in and they matched it with another $200,000. So $400,000 to the victims. I mean, that's got to feel amazing to be able to do that.
Oh, it's awesome. And I mean, it really just makes us feel better because we know it's going to a good place as well. But thank you to the McNairs too for their efforts as well. But like I said, anything that we can do just to help those families and just bring them some type of ease and just kind of clarity with everything they have going on, we would love that.
That's all going to the Robb School Memorial Fund. And if fans want to donate, they can also Venmo or Zelle, mail checks as well. So it's an ongoing effort. And the orange is really for National Gun Awareness. So you want fans to come out and sort of support as well.
For sure. Bring it all out, as much orange as you can, just to raise that awareness. And especially for Mrs. Pendleton down in Chicago, who was gunned down in a playground. That's something that you never want to see. And things like that, it is really heartbreaking. So any type of awareness that we can bring and just get people talking and, thinking about that cause and just doing whatever they can to fix it, I mean, that's all we want.
All right, so your teammates came together. It seems like you guys have so much chemistry. I mean, you've only been here, this is your second year with the team. So what is it like in the locker room? You've got a few returning players, you've got some new guys. It seems like you guys are really getting along on and off the field.
For sure, we have a great core. I mean, I love the guys that they brought in as me as well. I love that I'm here. I love Houston. I love this coaching staff. Lovey's doing a great job. And I feel like we really are gelling well. We got a lot of guys who have come from different teams that have played together, so you already have a little bit of chemistry in that sense. But just having guys, like Rex Burkhead, Pharaoh, all those guys like that. I mean, they're core pieces for this organization. I mean, as long as we can keep us strong and bring those other guys along with the rookies as well, I feel like this is going to be a great season.
Yeah, speaking of rookies, Jalen Petrie, he's in your group. What have you thought about him so far? It's early, but you've had a chance to get to know him a little bit better.
I mean, we see his potential. We see what he can do. We're glad to have him on board. We know the kid can play as well as the other safeties too. We have a lot of great pieces back there. But with him, we're still hard on him as well, just like the coaches are hard on us, and he's still learning just like any other rookie. But for me, I try to make sure I throw him any type of knowledge just to give him that one up and get him going faster. So, and for me, as long as the team together, whoever's out there, because the standard doesn't change whatsoever. So whether he's out there, me or Eric or any of those other guys, we make sure that we're on point.
All right, you got a little bit more of OTAs left, and then you go into veteran minicamp. In the secondary, what are your goals? What are some things that you can work on? I know it's not fully padded, full hit in practice yet, but what are some things that you can get better at in these next few weeks?
Just being generals out there. We know we're like the quarterbacks of the defense, along with Christian Kirksey down there too. We just really want to be felt out there. That's our biggest thing, and we know a lot of people kind of treat us like the underdogs and whatnot, but we kind of take that and let that be fuel for us each and every day. And as for the safeties, we just want to ball. We got to be some dogs out there for sure.
All right, good stuff, Terence. Thanks so much. Congrats on all the efforts, and looking forward to seeing what more comes.
Appreciate it.
Good stuff there from Terence Brooks and DP Sidhu. So let's talk about some of these rookies who are helping out now. You take a guy in the first round, you think he's going to make some major impact on your team. Texans have two in Derek Stingley Jr. and Kenyon Green. One plays corner, one plays offensive line. One has been a little bit limited, but he's been out there for some of the stuff,
right.
Stingley, and another kind of has seamlessly slid right into the rotation there up front. Now, no starting roles have been handed out yet, but each of them is going to have a major role on this team this year and in the future.
Well, there's no doubt, but this time of year, Drew, you still have a couple of weeks left in off-season practice. You have the mini camp, you have another week of OTAs after this, and I think with rookies, you want to bring them along and make them earn their spot as they rise up through the depth chart. And if they can't rise up through the depth chart, then that is what it is. What's really interesting, though, is as you get deeper into this class and see flashes here and there of what these players can do. Now, you have a lot of veterans out there, a lot of guys who have played a lot of snaps in the NFL, so it's going to be hard to replace them, but we're not really looking for that right now. You're just looking for getting better week to week, layering on.
Yeah, I brought up the first two choices. The guys the two that went after them, Jalen Petrie of Baylor, he has made a nice little niche for himself, and you think if he plays a little bit like he did in college, boy, this is going to be a perfect fit for Lovie Smith's defense.
Well, he's got his own personal PR machine, Jalen Petrie does, and John McClain, who went to Baylor, and Jalen Petrie's going to be the next. Well, he doesn't really go that crazy. He kind of jokes about it, but Petrie's hard to miss out there, right? Yeah. I watched him this week. He's making plays. He looks good in coverage. He likes to play near the line of scrimmage, but that doesn't mean he can't cover. I saw him covering some guys, and I thought, well, look at that. He's sticking to this player like glue. So he had some good moments out there. But again, they'll all tell you they have some good moments. They have some plays they want back. But again, get better every week. I know it sounds cliche, but as long as you keep doing that, by the time you get to the third week of camp, first preseason game, hey, you've made some progress, and now you can hit the field and play in some of those contests.
Yeah, another guy taken kind of early was Christian Harris, the linebacker. Yeah. He slid right in. He looks like he's found a nice role on this defense too.
Well, Christian Kirksey also talked about him because his name is Christian, and Christian Kirksey's son is named Christian. But beyond that, he's one of those guys who's a sponge, he says. And he's not saying much right now, but he's a sponge. He's soaking it all in. And Lovie Smith really likes this player. You know that. They all do. I think it'll be interesting to watch his development as well.
Another guy who you want to get something from on offense is Dameon Pierce, the Florida running back. Boy, you look at the college tape, He runs well, he blocks well, he catches the ball out of the backfield, and as of right now, we've seen him do that here in May.
Right, and you don't have pads, right? So what can you see without pads? I'm going to tell you what you can see without pads. Cut ability. That's my word, maybe. It must have been invented
It'll
somewhere
work
else.
on this show.
But he can cut, and you're seeing the cut ability of Dameon Pierce as a rookie. Look, it's OTAs. Let's not get crazy, but so far so good. I can't wait to get these guys in pads.
Regardless of what happens, May is a time and June is a time for optimism about the year ahead. All right, we have more Texans 360. Stick with us because when we return, Taps, a special look back at a Memorial Day celebration.
Another day, another opportunity. Work day, baby. Let's get it. We got something in store for y'all. Y'all just wait.
Feeling great, man. About to get some work.
Yo, I ain't doing my hair this morning. Not too much camera action.
We're back. Dougherty and Marc Vandermeer, the voice of the Houston Texans here on Texans 360. Memorial Day was about a week or so ago, and the Texans have a deep commitment to honoring those who serve, who have served, especially those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. And we've seen that throughout the years, not the 2 decades that this franchise has been around.
Well, Drew, it's such an important holiday for that, to acknowledge those who have made the ultimate sacrifice, everyone who's served, like you said. And then sometimes people feel a little guilty for celebrating that and having the barbecue or whatever. But I think that's part of the point here. It's a day off to do those things and think about those things while you're enjoying time with your family and friends.
Well said. And a great way to remember that and honor some of those who have served is with this video here, Taps.
My name is Gilbert Arsiaga. I'm 41 years old. I'm from Midland, Texas. I served in the United States Marine Corps from 1999 to 2003. My mother called me up. She was a nervous wreck, checking the news or whatever, and she said there was a soldier killed in Solder City. That's where Robert's at. I was like, don't worry, it's just, one soldier. It's not him. So I finished getting ready for school, and then the phone rings again. And it's my mom. And she told me I need to get home. And so I kept telling her, what's going on? She said, just get home. And so when I got there to her house, there was a government vehicle in the driveway, and I knew that, they had bad news. And sure enough, that's what they told me when I walked in, is that he was killed in action. The Marines call him back up saying, hey, we're calling you back to active duty. You need to report here at this time, this place at this time. And he spent quite some time out there, but they actually sent him home about a month early before the rest of his unit was supposed to come. And so he moved on. He had a couple more kids and, continued working and just unexpectedly, 2 days before his 32nd birthday, he took his life, and we found out that he was dealing with, post-traumatic stress disorder and depression, and just kind of held it in. So we were all blindsided by this, and it was a big loss for us. Our second brother lost to this war. Seeing the Texans, honor people like us, and it's just awesome to see that you guys know that people like us are out there, and you're willing to share our stories with us. And a couple years back, TAPS reached out to us, for an event with the Texans where we got to see them, do some practice and meet them. They signed some footballs for us, and so it was just it's amazing that you guys reach out to us and do that for us. There's walls all over Texas that have, their names on it. And, this one's the closest one to me, being in Galveston. And doing programs like TAPS where we can meet with other family members and you share the same grief, And then, of course, anytime we have a chance to talk about them or tell their stories, that we're more than willing. That's one of the ways we love to honor them. Robert, on the day he deployed, he had his head up. He didn't shed a tear. He got on that bus with no problem. Jeremy, when they called him back, he didn't hesitate. He got on that bus, no questions asked, head held up high. So, that they did this with no hesitation. They stepped up with no hesitation.
Tell me a little bit more about Cooks. You brought him up. You guys played for a season together, 2013 at Oregon State. Yeah. That's got to be kind of nice coming back to the team and knowing an old familiar face.
Yeah, Cooks has always been one of those guys that's been in my corner since I got to Oregon State. Me and that guy, we worked hard against each other in practice. Kind of showed me the way of, showed me how to be a pro early. He's always kind of had that ability to kind of influence people with his work ethic. Being around him, being back in the building kind of brings back some old memories.
Fun little connection there between Steven Nelson and Brandon Cooks. 2013, they were together in Corvallis playing for Oregon State. That's a nice little hookup there, right? Huh?
That is. I mean, Brandon Cooks, people forget about him sometimes. You have one of the best receivers in the league right here on the Houston Texans. Very handy. Third best receiver in franchise history. Easy to say that.
Yeah, without question. He cranks out 1,000-yard seasons. He's done it, I think, every year but 2 in his NFL career. That's very impressive stuff. So he's back. He's got an extension. Enormous to have him back in the building. Cooks, catching passes. He's the favorite target of Davis Mills. He's been the favorite target of just about every quarterback who's thrown the ball to him in his NFL career. Aside from the leadership, just on the field, what does he bring to this offense that is going to be looking new under Pep Hamilton?
Well, you can see it already with the Pep Hamilton influence, and I think that it'll be easier for Davis Mills in year 2, after what he went through last year, to digest whatever they throw at him, and this will be a little bit different. There's a lot of Andrew Luck type stuff from the Colts and even from the days back at Stanford, and a lot of it we won't really know it until we see it week 1. I'm not even talking preseason games, Drew, but the fundamentals are there. They want to run the football well. They want to use play action. They want to be able to throw it creatively. They want Mills to have some autonomy. And I think Mills in year 2 out of the practice field is showing you that he's got a grasp of this thing the way he didn't have last year as a rookie. Although he did pretty well as a rookie understanding the offense, execution didn't always go as planned early on because he's a rookie and they were putting together a lot of different pieces. I like what I'm seeing out there right now with Cooks helping out. Philip Dorsett caught some big passes last year. Great to have him around. Don't forget about Conley. He can still make plays. The list goes on. Brevin Jordan, Nico Collins in year 2. I like what I'm seeing.
You just said, don't you forget about me. And
Yeah.
You're not talking about Simple Minds and the Breakfast Club. It's a cool segment that you and John Harris have this time of year on Texans Radio, which you can catch 6 to 7, Monday through Friday. Don't you forget about Nico Collins. Year 2. What's this guy going to bring to the offense, you think?
Well, he can make some big plays for you. He's a big receiver. He can be a big red zone target. He can also, I think they like to put all of them in the slot from time to time. There's a lot of versatility in the group. And Brevin Jordan as a smaller tight end, I hate to even call him that, but he's a tight end who catches passes a lot, right? He can still block, but he's a pass-catching tight end.
Right.
And he can be more of a slot receiver at times as you need him to do that. I can't wait till Mechie gets in the fold along with those players. And we're missing guys, but they have a lot of players to choose from here in that pass-catching stable, and I'll include the tight ends in that group. But I like it. Look, Mills, with the practice session we saw this week, not everything was perfect, right? There were some plays they wanted back, but the defense is out there too, hotly competitive, and they're upping their game, and I'm seeing more talent on that side of the ball than we saw last year. along with the offensive side of the ball, you're hoping the old iron sharpening iron thing is playing out in front of you.
Yeah, and you also have to remember this time of year, it's a little bit like in baseball spring training when a pitcher's working on a new fourth pitch.
Yeah.
You know, hey, I'm trying out my split finger fastball type of deal, right?
Yeah, Mills told us this last week. John and I talked to him, and he said, you know what, I'm trying stuff this time of year I won't necessarily try in the regular season, or maybe I will, depending on how it goes here. We saw some throws the other day that we weren't seeing last year, okay?
Yeah.
That is good to see. That's refreshing. Let's see it continue to develop. It's early, but it's going to get late fast. Not to be Yogi Berra-like about this. A couple of more weeks of these off-season practices, then the summer break, and bam, you hit training camp, and they better be clicking those first couple of weeks. You got to ramp up for the preseason games, and before you know it, it's week 1.
Yogiisms always welcome
Okay.
on Texans 360. Stick with us. The Texans have a new cheerleading squad. The Houston Texans Cheerleaders 2022 edition is out. Welcome back to Texans 360. Drew Dougherty and Marc Vandermeer. You know, you and I have been with the organization for a while. You much longer than me, but we both know to become a Houston Texans cheerleader, it takes a lot, doesn't it?
It's tough, and guess what? They're undefeated. They've never lost. Go Cheerleaders.
They win every single Sunday, and here is the latest crop of Houston Texans cheerleaders. That's all we got for this week, but hey, the Texans have another week of OTAs next week, so we'll have more football to chit-chat about. Not with you, Mark, but with somebody else. But thanks for coming on today. Cool.
Yeah, have me on again at some point, please, soon. You have OTAs next week, then mini camp. We've got a long way to go here, but as I said, it's going to go by quickly. But this show always goes on, right? It's the longest-running show in the history of Texans television.
He'll be back for sure sometime very, very soon. We appreciate you watching. Thanks so much to Tyler Marcotte, Jared Huff, Tyler Suddarth, Jonathan Johnson, and the whole crew who put this show together. I'm Drew. We'll see you next time. And go Texans.